I guess, first attempt at making a kind of a blog, I guess. My idea here is that I want to do maybe a daily or so video blog, just like me driving to work, I guess, after dropping the kids at school. Just whatever goes through my head, whatever I've seen. Mostly gaming, tech guys. Obviously, that's gonna be mostly what I talk about, but I might have some other unrelated stuff once in a while. So to that, anyway. So yeah, yesterday big day. I'm a big Xbox guy, obviously, and yesterday the big Microsoft conference for the Summer Game Fest. Everyone was expecting big announcements, and that's what we got. Opened up with Fable, closed with Starfield. We see one of those coming out this year. The other one, we don't know when, most likely I guess 2025 for Fable. Pretty good looking games overall, I'd say. People, they said they were gonna have like no CGI trailer, which they didn't. They were right on that when they said that it was all in engine, but obviously an engine also means like cutscenes, right? So it's like a mix of like gameplay, I guess, in-game gameplay, cutscenes, and end-game like gameplay, somewhat shown like in a cinematic matter, I guess, and without the UI and stuff. So it's hard to say, but we all know it was an engine, and at least in the case of Fable, it was running on the Series X. That's what the Playground Games confirmed. So freaking good looking. I don't know what resolution that was. I know some people on the Digital Foundry realm are gonna do some pixel counting and stuff to let us know about the official resolution. I guess maybe it's reconstructed. I wouldn't be surprised if it was somewhat reconstructed, considering that's a very good looking game, surprisingly, like, because everyone was like expecting, not that it wouldn't look good, but how it would work, because that game is running on Forza Tech, right? So Forza Tech here being a racing game engine mostly. Now we're getting an RPG. So yeah, kind of weird, but hey, Playground Game has done amazing work in the past, so if I have to trust someone, that would be them, we had a bunch of stuff from like Compulsion Games and Exile. I don't know what their Compulsion games gonna be like. I mean, it looks freaking cool, but what kind of game is it? I have to read more on that. I'm not too sure. The Exile game, obviously, that's it's an RPG through and through. I mean, no reason to really worry about that one. It's pretty far away too, and Exile's always done some good work. Wasteland 3 is awesome, so I'm expecting great things from them. What else did we get? Capcom game, man. Surprisingly, like a big, I mean, quite a few Japanese announcements, especially the Atlas stuff. So that's pretty cool to see, I mean, brings a good, I guess it's like a big stage for like, your third-party partners. So that's always a good thing. And it just goes on to show, like, look, I mean, we've got Japanese stuff on Xbox, right? So always great to see like Phil Spencer and the rest of the Xbox team, showing up there with some Japanese stuff for the audience, because it goes to show that they're serious about bringing more of those games on the platform, right? And I mean, it shows partners, I guess, that Xbox is willing to put their money where their mouth is and really try to make it appealing so that we can get more and more of that content. And I mean, a lot of that stuff was like, even like the Capcom stuff was day one Game Pass, surprisingly. I mean, I know how much that would cost on it, honestly, to get a big game like that, like day one on your platform, because that's most likely like a multi-platform, obviously, that's coming out on PS5 and probably on PC as well. But I mean, and if you look at stuff like Wulong, I guess it kind of makes sense when you have like a new franchise like that, coming out day one on Game Pass, because when you look at it, and in the case of Wulong, I think they had like recently announced they had like 4 million players, but 1 million in sales, which means that at least, and it has to be more than that, 3 million of those players were on Xbox and PC. Because if you only sold 1 million, but you got 4 million players, it means at least 3 million played through Game Pass. Game Pass is only on PC and Xbox. So it's just going to show that for a new franchise like that, like Wulong, for example, I mean, to get, that big push to get as many eyes on your game as possible, Game Pass is the way to go, you know? Because 1 million in sales, I mean, maybe you would have got a bit more if you had like not put on Game Pass, because some of the Game Pass players might have bought the game, but you wouldn't have sold 3 million more, which is the whole point, you know? Like, by doing that, people have played the game, and like people like me, I wouldn't have paid $80 for it. But I'm like, you know what? It's pretty freaking cool. I almost finished the whole thing, you know? I'm almost done with the game. So it's like, and I'm having a blast with it. So that's the kind of game. Maybe like on the second you know, like release, if they do make a sequel, you're like, well, you know what? I really enjoyed the first one through a Game Pass. The second one is not available on Game Pass, but I know what to expect, you know? And that's pretty what Capcom is seeing here. Like, I'm guessing there must be some sharing of like numbers and like statistics, and they're like, look, this is what happens on like first try and then second try, and some people know and buy more of the game or buy more DLCs, and they're like, yeah, the numbers make sense, you know, financially, and let's go for it. You know, I'm guessing some stuff like that is happening. I mean, for the Japanese stuff, like the RPG stuff from Atlus, I'm guessing it must sell a lot less. I mean, I've looked at the Ni no Kuni, I believe, numbers when I was playing that game. Like the achievements, it's pretty low. So I'm guessing that in some cases it's just much better to put on Game Pass than try to sell it to recoup some of that money. But I mean, it helps build, which is the whole idea. It helps build the platform, you know, the library. And long term, that's, I guess, where you're gonna see like changes happening, right? So I guess that covers that. What else? Oh yeah, obviously Starfield. I mean, I don't think there's much to say about Starfield except that it's gonna be like the greatest game ever. You know, like freaking Todd like just did it again. You know, like, and it's like every time they come back, they show you more. You're like, I mean, how can they have stuff to, you know, how can they still have stuff to show us? How does that make any sense? You know, like, you think you've seen everything, and I've seen like if you guys look online, you can probably find them. There's like comparison. Maybe I'm gonna try to put them in this video if I have time to do it. But there's like comparison screenshots from last year with this year, and you're like, holy shit! They actually upgraded the game like visually. You know, we got confirmation that it's 4K 30 FPS and 1440p, 30 FPS on Series X and S respectively. I mean, he did say that in some cases the game goes above that, even sometimes reaching 60 FPS. I'm guessing like some of the inside areas, like inside buildings and stuff, you must be reaching 60, but outside in the open world getting 30, you know. But for that stable experience, they prefer locking it to 30 FPS, which I guess makes sense. I mean, it sucks, you know. Some people are like, why don't we get like a 40 FPS performance mode, like, you know, for people that have VR televisions, and maybe they were not able to lock it at 40, and for that reason they have to keep it at 30. I don't know. It must be a pretty CPU intensive game, that's what I'm guessing. And I mean, it's somewhat to be expected from Bethesda, right? Like, all their games usually come out at least, well, Bethesda Softworks, I mean, not like the rest of the Bethesda, I mean ZeniMax Studios, but like Bethesda themselves, you know, most of their games come out at 30 FPS. And I mean, people were hoping we'd get more. I mean, it's the case every new generation, like, oh, the system is powerful, you know, we should be getting 60 like all the way, you know. But nah, that's not gonna happen. I mean, this generation is no different. Some people just want to push the envelope and go for more like mechanics, you know. Like, I mean, all the stuff that's happening in the background, like that Gamebryo engine, you can tell it's been updated, and it seems to be doing a lot more. There's so much detail in that game, all the physics stuff, you know, all the universe around you, like the galaxies, all the stuff like running, like he was explaining in the video, everything is like the atmosphere and all stuff in real time, like to a degree that like you've never seen before, right? And that's what Bethesda is known for, you know, that making it, I guess, that realistic like touch that they add, like, even though it's like obviously a video game, and a lot of it is like not really, I mean, it's fantasy world, you know, but still, whatever it is that they bring to it, like, it makes it like appealing to people. Is like, it brings it to a whole new other level, something that you don't see from other developers. And I'm quite glad that they decided to just stick to their guts and be like, you know, that's what we want to push for, and we don't want to compromise any of it, so we'll just keep that 30 FPS. I mean, you can get some backlash, especially with what happened with the Redfall thing recently. I mean, I did play through Redfall, and it had to be played at 60 FPS, honestly. But maybe Starfield's different. I don't know, like some games like Destiny, for example. Destiny at 30 FPS was like, I don't know how Bungie did it, but it still felt smooth, so it's not impossible. So hopefully Bethesda figures it out and it plays well and we're all happy with it. I'm guessing it's still gonna be an amazing game, and I'm hoping so for some game of the year like stuff with it. I don't know, it's a hard year with Zelda, you know, but you never know. If I still go through it from memory like that, like I don't know, because I don't have this in front of me, but like with the Ubisoft game, the Star Wars game, you know, today's Ubisoft Forward, so we're supposed to see more of it because that was just like a CGI. What's some of the other game like stuff from like Don't Nod, like that climbing game, looked pretty good. I mean, I was surprised because we saw 2 games announced from Don't Nod, like one on Summer Game Fest like conference, and then one on the Xbox show, and none of them are like, you know, like not point and click, but like, you know, like beyond the, how they call those things, like you know, like tell me why, you know, that type of stuff, you know. They're not like just walking around like and just finding stuff and like relaxing games, you know, like you know, like they're more like action or adventure games. I mean, I've never seen like that type of stuff from Don't Nod before, or I don't know if they did it and do them in the past, you know. But I mean, can't wait to see if they actually play good, because I'm not used to seeing that type of gameplay from them, so I don't know what to expect really. I mean, visually it was quite good looking, you know. It's more like cartoony, but I mean, if that's their style they're going for, I mean, I'm all for it, and I like those type of games, and it looks very original. It's not something I think we've seen before, so, and it's day one on Game Pass anyway. And like I say, like if it's on Game Pass, it almost feels like free, you know. So I don't really care to, at least I'll give it a try for sure, you know, because it's not costing me anything except for that. I mean, not even $16 a month here, because I'm getting the 3-year deal with the gold deal trick, you know, obviously, like everyone does still. So yeah, definitely gonna try that out. Flight Sim, I mean, it's kind of, that one's weird. Like, I mean, it's a good game, don't get me wrong. It's a freaking good looking game. Like every time I see it and trailer, I'm like, okay, am I looking at real life or is it a video game, you know? But the thing is, right, so we've got, for the end of the year at least, we've got Starfield coming out September, and then we've got Forza coming out October. So that's a pretty good end of year, I guess. And you have pre-orders already up now for the new Black Series S with the 1TB SSD, you know, for the same price as the old one. I don't know if they're gonna keep the old one and just sell it at a lower price point and have like a lower entry into the ecosystem, or I'm just gonna phase it out and keep the new one at the same price as the old one, you know. Hard to say. Or they're just gonna try to like run through their old inventory at like a super low price for like Black Friday and stuff, and then just keep the 1TB drive available, Black Edition, you know, who knows. But yeah, so those are the 2 games for next year, and then for this year. And then next year, they say, Matt Booty said that he wants to start shipping 4 first-party games a year at least. So for next year, we're getting Hellblade 2, which was shown and was incredibly good looking, but again, in game cinematic, where's the gameplay, you know, what do we expect? And again, is it like a more like a corridor, like, you know, like not corridor, like a, you know, like, is it more like the linear game, or is it gonna be more, because some people are expecting like, oh, this is huge open world God of War, like, is that what it is? Because I mean, Ninja Theory is not Sony Santa Monica, they're not the same size, you know, studio wise. So I mean, what do we expect? Do we expect like a 12-15 hour linear game, like super good looking game, you know, because that's what Theory is strong at, you know. They have incredible visuals. I mean, Hellblade, the first one, is like, what, a team of like 15-20 people, I think, and it looks crazy good. So yeah, but then, and it comes out in 2024, so that's pretty close. I mean, they still have Game Awards to show some of that stuff, you know, so maybe we'll see more later on this year, hopefully, because we don't know when it's coming out exactly. We just know it's 2024. So yeah, Hellblade 2. We've got next year Project Belfry, so Towerborn, I think it's called, which looks pretty cool, like a little like hack and slash, maybe with some RPG elements. I don't know, like you know, like 2.5D, I guess, like a game, you know. Those are always pretty fun, and it looks pretty good. It's all like cartoony looking, obviously, but like it could have some deep gameplay, you know. Those types of games sometimes impress, and you never know what to expect, you know, with this. So hopefully they really hit out the park with this game. I mean, it's more like a double A game, I guess, like smaller type of game, you know. But that's why my next point is like, okay, we're getting Hellblade 2 with that. Then we're getting for next year Flight Simulator 2024, which to me doesn't feel like it's a new entry. You know, it's just like an updated game, I guess. I don't know. Like, I find it weird that they considered one of their 4 pillars for next year. You know, and then so maybe they have more, and they haven't shown it yet. And then Avowed, and Avowed looks freaking cool. I don't know why some people are saying it looks too cartoony. I don't think it looks too cartoony. It's more like fantasy than realistic. It's unlike Skyrim, for example. So it's more fantasy looking. So it's more colorful, yes, but it's not cartoony looking. So whatever. It looks super awesome. It's like it does look like Skyrim, honestly, like gameplay wise and stuff. But like, I mean, it's a first-person RPG set in a fantasy world now, so comparisons are gonna be drawn, obviously, but apparently there's a lot of different like systems that are completely different from Skyrim, so we'll just have to wait and see more about that game. That's again next year, so they have more opportunity, I guess, to show us more of this game and explain to us really how it works. Maybe there's more on there's the extended showcase coming up, so hopefully we learn more about those games now. So yeah, so that covers like 2024 pretty much for them, like Avowed, Hellblade 2, Flight Sim, and Towerborn. So I'm like, okay, that's 4 games. I still consider Flight Simulator somewhat as like not a brand new game, you know. So again, like, do they have more in store that we don't know about? Because there's a lot of stuff that they haven't shown either, and there's nothing stopping them from like coming up next Summer Game Fest and be like, here's this game, it's coming out this fall, you know. You never know. But like, it still feels like, at least we know there's more coming. I think they said they showed like 11 first-party games. It's like, you know, that's a pretty big list, you know. People were like, oh, what's going on with Xbox, or what are their studios doing? Obviously they were cooking up stuff because they were all but, well, they were already working on other games for other like third-party publishers, so they had to finish those contracts first and then start working on the first-party stuff. And we all know that development takes time these days, especially if you want to go like big, no AAA style game and build your teams, because that's the problem. It's hard to get people these days, and they had to build like bigger teams. So that was, people should have expected them to take longer, you know. But now that we see it coming out, once they hit cadence, you know, it feels like, you know, like they have so much stuff in the pipeline that they're gonna be able to hit their 4 games a year easily, without any issues, and that we should be getting games like a constant basis. So yeah, I'm just arriving in the parking lot here, getting to work. So unfortunately, we have to say goodbyes for now and get this upload going for you guys. So yeah, see you guys in the next one. Peace out.